He'll actually give you like a gesture, like one of those. Do you want me to come with you?
Um, he would just wait. They're not the most understanding creatures.
Nods to that.
We deal
And
with
then
you.
and then we'll go to Kieran, and N, and be like, do we really need the body anymore? He wants to learn more about his enemy.
I mean, I don't really think it's useful as evidence, to be honest with you. There's a slight greenish color, could be from anything.
Yeah.
So I don't
All right.
care.
Come on, precious. You like lead the horse with the body over to the side of the water, not through it, but just so he can come over and get it.
Okay. So he actually will he comes actually walking into view for you, Kieran, for the first time, and you see this lizard folk. However, he's like standing at a decent, so lizard folk are kind of beguiling in their size. So he's actually very large in size, almost 7 feet, but they don't look that way entirely because like the way their bodies kind of like slump and the way their back arches and the way their kind of like elongated necks kind of like curve a little bit and whatnot, it makes them seem like he's closer to like, say, 6 foot, 6 feet, 5'10", somewhere in there. But he's actually like in his full length, close to 7 feet, not including tail. So anyways, there's this albino lizard folk that's standing there before you, but what you notice is the clothing that he's wearing. It's a strange mix of like he has. The clothing that he's wearing is very, very, very refined clothing, like wizard's robes that you would see. As a matter of fact, the colors even strike you as something similar. Like you've seen these kind of like well-designed, the style of clothes looks very Carnathy. You know what I mean? He's holding in his hand a staff that has like arcane energies. You can almost feel them like palpitating off of it. And at the top of the staff is like some bones sitting at the top of it. And then in his other hand, he has a book, like a tome. Very obviously a very trained wizard. There's no question about that in your mind. So anyways, as he stands there, and you bring the body over, he like looks to you to like meet eyes with you, like his red eyes to meet with yours. The two of you guys like, kind of catch eyes, and he gives you a bit of a nod.
How do you do?
Okay.
Scaly person?
So you say that,
Yeah.
and he actually, since you like are being kind, he's actually gonna reach into his robes slowly, and he slowly pulls out a strange-looking vial.
So you treat
Thank
kindness
you.
with creepiness. That's great.
You
I can
you
see why I
drink
have
it.
so many friends.
What is it?
It looks horrifying.
It's a potion that lets you understand him. I had to chug one earlier.
Take it.
It is disgusting.
Take
Like,
a strange potion.
it is.
And,
It
and
is.
again, it's you know when you give your friend a drink that's like super strong, and then they drink it and they're like, that's downfall. He's like, oh, okay, now you do.
I'm glad we could share this experience. So it's one of those things where like it does not look as thick as it feels going down. You know what I mean? Like the viscosity of this thing is horrifying. It is so putrid. It's so vile. But you choke it down, and after you like for a couple of moments, you can finally see like him and Stalbor are maintaining a little bit of like side chatter about you. All of a sudden, you can understand what they're saying. So, anyways, he then says to you, after you kind of like come to your senses or whatever, he says to you, hello, friends.
Hello.
I hear you are the one that's been hunting these creatures. And like uses like his longer neck to like gesture towards the corpse on the horse.
Yeah, we kind of fell into it.
Well, it is a mark of the city folk to leave heavy boot prints and large craters where they go. I thank you for that.
You're welcome.
He turns to Stalbor and says, "So I may keep it then."
Absolutely. It might help you learn a thing or two, maybe a way to tell them apart.
As you're saying that, he reaches over with one hand on the chest to hold it steady, grabs the head, twists and rips it off.
Stalbor, I would say he wouldn't flinch, but it's just a quick movement. So he would, but not like, oh, I'm not disgusted. I'm just like, eh.
Well, that's gross.
He walks over to you guys with the head of the creature.
Make it walk, are you? Because
No.
I'm not
Well,
looking away.
he doesn't respond. He walks over to you with the head of the creature and places it down on the ground in front of you, and then holds his staff up high with one hand, holding the book out, and the pages immediately flip open to where he needs it. And he starts to like,
Oh, this is going to be good.
and you all of a sudden you see the head starts to move a little bit, and it rises up from the ground. And oh no, that's not the head rising. It seems to be the spirit that's trapped within the head rises up, as well as the whole body and everything else that was the form of the man that you had killed, rises up and is now standing before you. The spirit of this creature is standing before you. And it looks with like a dead look in its eyes, kind of like doesn't look at any of you, but anybody kind of like looks at it, maybe kind of like looks in your direction, seems to not notice you, and looks through you.
Stalbor, could you look like less amused, just like 2 notches down, please? It's a little bit creepy.
That better?
It's better.
This is the spirit of the deceased. It can be asked questions.
Oh.
My power can only ask it 5 questions before it draws too much of my strength, and I must send it away. Choose questions wisely.
Yeah, Stalbor will just straight up like turn to Kieran. Like,
You would know better than I would.
you wanted to talk to the man.
Yeah, but I don't know if he can actually help us. Okay, do you know when you were taken over by this creature?
Hard work always comes at the cost of long days. But for the past year, those days have grown longer, seemingly endless. Always a job and never a rest.
What are these jobs? What is your goal?
In life, I was to tinker and create. I was to make things that would be useful. Weapons of war. Gems that could explode. Drops of water that can fill a belly. Wands that can shock. Many things are my things to tinker.
Do you know how many more of are you in death? You are but one of many.
The enthralled.
Hmm.
The slaves to this entity.
I am but one. I am only me, in life and in death. Oh, how I loved my family, but how they were nothing compared to my master.
Your master. What is it?
Benevolent, kind. Oh, how it filled me with purpose and joy. Oh, my master. Do I miss its pull?
I think this is the last one. Where is your master?
Everywhere.
Right?
In my heart.
I came across a tree. It was fallen. It was hit by the shards. Inside the tree, there was a passage that led down. It was strange there, but I grew to like it. It made sense. With that, you can see that the lizard folk, he is kind of like, he was kind of gripping his staff tighter and tighter and tighter, and he was kind of like, you could see like the slump and the weight of him kind of like lowering down, and finally kind of like snaps the book shut with a sharp like bang that actually surprised the two of you because you're kind of engrossed in the conversation there. That surprises the two of you, and kind of like exhales, but as he exhales, like a bit of mist and smoke comes from his mouth and rushes over across the spirit and like discorporeates the spirit, ripping it apart. You can see like a look of like horror and pain, but silently, of the spirit as it's like torn asunder and just entirely evaporated by that breath that comes from him. And then he's like gasping for air as the discorporeated spirit kind of gathers back over to him, and he inhales it with these laborious breaths, taking it into himself, seeming to have it regain the strength into his own body. And he's like, yes, answers.
Well,
I can.
It looks like we'll be looking for a ring shard, and it's night, right? So if I look up, can I see the ring around Eberron?
You through the canopy, the one little weaker spot of the canopy, you can see a bit of.
Yeah, I'll look up to it and go,
You mean a Sibber shard?
yes, that's the humanish word for it. They're trackable. They're findable.
Yes, but to find something unique like that, you need somebody that knows magics, that can find things like that. I unfortunately skipped those lessons.
Is Bellum's dragon mark visible?
Yeah,
It's
it's right.
like, yeah, around my neck.
You know someone with the mark of finding.
You seem to be a resourceful lot.
I
And
like
the
the
dragon
word
marks.
pragmatic.
The dragon marks are connected to the shards in some way or another. Maybe we'll find it.
Stalbor, I think there is a change of plans. If you are heading to the cave, perhaps I should just follow you rather than them.
Perhaps. That would be a good idea. Although, I'm sure it'll be fine.
I have a concern. Let's make an assumption here. Let's assume that it is like a hive mind. Let's assume that this one creature, there being only one and not several, has the means to control their thrall and creepers from afar. Let's assume...
Moundlings.
Sorry, moundlings is probably what he would
Mound-
say too, because that's what you referred to them as before.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because he had come up with a different name and he liked your name before. So the thralls, the slaves, that's what he had called that too. The slaves and the moundlings from afar. If there is a danger brought to it, would it not hold the villagers hostage?
A wall of meat.
It could just simply inform us that should we continue with our task, it just kills them all. I think this because I've seen how it slaughtered ours.
You have more experience on this creature's practices. And its tactics.
I do not like the humankind. I would not mind them leaving my forest. However, these are children and elderly. These are innocents as well.
Then how... If we keep to the forest, then perhaps there's a chance that you would want to know your own realm.
I'll leave the plan to you and your friends, Stalbor. You seem to have a grasp of the situation.
That's definitely a word for it.
Well, I think here I take my leave. I think I must ponder what it is that's to be done. But know this, Stalbor. If you aid me, I will reward you.
Mighty decent of you, friend.
It's no small task to ask for you to put your life on the line for someone who is half dead and lost all those around him already.
He can't reply to that.
Yep.
It would just be that, like
Yep.
the sort of half shrug.
Okay, and with that, he actually will, kind of give his nod, and
Shamble away.
the rest of the body he grabs with one hand and just kind of like drags and splashes into the mud, and he like walks with it dragging behind him, through the mud, getting all nasty and gross and stuff, and he leaves the skull behind because he doesn't need it. He already cast a spell, it's a one-time thing. So he leaves that behind and just brings the handless, headless body with him into the darkness.
It really is RimWorld.
Yeah.
We're just taking the parts that we need one by one.
Oh, so funny. All right, and obviously you guys are gonna head back towards your companions. You'll be able to find each other one way or the other. So we're going to call the session here, and next session we'll start up with you found each other. Yeah. Awesome. Well, that was fun. Aaron, there's a bit of a revelation there. How did you,
How did I feel about it?
Yeah! Hashtag it's not necessarily all connected.
I know, right? I was kind of whatever.
Also, now there's no doubt that Kieran knows the Stalbor is a necromancer.
That's true.
He just raised a little dead right there.
A little bit creepy.
Raise a all dead.
That's funny too, because Odette, right before she died, figured it out. And it was gonna be like, there's gonna be a conversation, and then.
So maybe,
What was it?
so maybe Kieran was about to die.
All right. Well, awesome. All right, so we'll wrap it up here.
And Kieran made it this long. Like, to be honest.
I agree.
Aaron's like,
None of
I'm
the
itching with my other
necromancer
character.
spells are that weird.
Because I expected Kieran to last like maybe like 3 sessions and then get thrown in prison, but no.
Well, she was. She was thrown in prison after 3
She's
seconds.
She's thrown in prison twice.
3 times.
3 times.
Oh, okay, goodbye, DM.
Yeah, 3 times.
Goodbye, DM. I am DM now. Roll initiative, everyone.
We never had to have.
So-
Sorry, he's back.
Ollie, who are you? Who are you? How can I find you?
I am Ollie Rand, or Ollie Smith in some places. When I'm not doing foul necromancy, I'm doing art streams, but the art streams, check my Twitter before them because I'm pretty busy at the moment, so I may or may not do them. But I am doing RimWorld, where we're not eating people, but I am removing their body parts. For example, I removed Worm's leg. Sorry, it had to be done. And on Wednesdays, I'm not only on Scott's Mass Effect show, which has Thorians in it, not in the actual show, but, the Mass Effect universe. And then after that, we're on my show, which is dealing with, also, cults. But in a different way. Where Erin plays a more reasonable person. And after that, on Sunday. So the next stream will be Sunday, where I'm playing Okami, which, if you don't know, is a game where I play as basically Penny right now, walking around, running around, being a dog.
Trying to draw circles.
All right, don't call me out in front of all these people. I'm an artist. I can draw circles whenever I want.
I gotta say, the most frustrating thing, I've lived through a lot of things in my life, and the most frustrating thing in the world is watching Ollie try to draw a circle on the Okami stream. I'm like, just do it. Just do it, Ollie.
Not like
Please.
everything requires a circle to be drawn in that game.
It's the worst, cause like, I don't know what they're making you use to draw
It's
the
a
circle.
thumb pad.
Oh, really? That's it?
Oh, Jesus Christ.
You can have it on.
We were kind of giving
like
you the
on
benefit of the
PlayStation?
doubt and assuming it was like motion controls.
No, it's an Xbox controller thumb pad.
Oh, Jesus, that's actually worse than motion controls.
Oh yeah.
But yes, cause like me and Aaron were watching. We'll talk to you about this later. But yeah, it was pretty funny.
To be fair, my game streams often, when I know Erin's around, I will, miss coins just to mildly infuriate her. So
Terrible.
I ain't mad
I'm
if
with
I'm making
you.
her mad.
Epic troll.
But that's me. That's the next time you can see me. And all that good stuff. And at some point, I need to do a new picture of Stalbor because he's completely different looking now than he is on the current.
Okay. Well, next, who's up? Will, who are you? How can we find you?
You can
Frank.
find me at Will Call Brewing on Instagram. You could also find me in the Discord. Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Eric, how can we find you?
Kunsai64 on the things, the twits and the Discord. You should definitely join the Discord. We're pretty active there. But yeah, that's really it for me.
Awesome. And Erin?
I am Vincent at all the things. I don't know what that was. Will.
Will, why was it
Set up his
me?
noise. 'Cause
I assumed it was you. Yeah, no, I'm super active on the Discord, so you can find us there. I play with Ollie and Scott on Wednesdays and Fridays,
Fun,
where I
fun.
play different characters on Ollie from, so enjoyable.
And
Got a mix right now.
Oops, so sorry, interrupting you. I was gonna say, and I am Delric. You can find me by googling Delric or scrolling down and picking up all the fun things that you can do. If you have not subscribed to me to YouTube, I'm going to go ahead and ask that you do so because I'm trying to get to 1,000 subs because I think that'll stop me from being negatively impacted by the new things. But you know what I'm going to do? I'm not sure exactly how to raid, but I know I can just jump over and host. So I'm actually going to jump over and host another game right now, another D&D game, because I never do that, and that's terrible. So, bye everybody. Let's go drop in on somebody else's game. Here we go.
Let's raise some dead.
Rating requires that you like stay on stream. It's like something you do actively.
Mhm.
So like, yeah, stay with us, guys.
There's new raiding. There's like inbuilt raiding now.
We're gonna raid these guys,
There's like literally /raid.
much like World of